to Silver Screen Rejects. I'm Clayton.
I'm Michael. Today we're joined by our friends Jake Pearthree and Shelbry Butler. How you guys doing today?
Good, man.
Doing good?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty groovy.
Pretty groovy. I like that, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
So, both of you have taken stabs at stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that like? What is that like? Going up on the stage, facing that kind of pressure, having to be funny on the spot. What is that like?
I think it's nerve-wracking. Okay, so a little bit of background for me at least. High school senior year, I was runner for the senior superlative class clown. So I already been like in the pretty much like the jackass all of my life. So
Yeah.
people saying, "Oh, you should do stand up. You should do stand up." I said, "Okay, cool." So I write a couple of jokes down. I go do stand up at Nefertari's, which is on like Macomb, like Gaines.
Yeah.
Nobody laughed.
Ooh.
It was the worst experience of my entire life. And then the host, Keith Rogers, he came up to me afterwards and he gave me like tips on what I could do better. And so I didn't do stand up again for like a couple of months. And I went to Birds for the first time, and I just kept going to Birds, and other comedians will come up to me and say, "Oh, you're funny," and stuff like that. But I don't write my jokes.
Really?
So I feel like I just kind of, I'm always a pretty, I guess, a quiet person. When I'm out in public.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm out in public, people are like, "Oh my God, he's so mysterious." But I'm really just like thinking too much. So I'm going over my jokes in my head, or I'm just thinking about why this girl's eyebrows are that big, or there's like really funny things in my head.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of like how that came to be.
It's funny that Shelby said that too, because when I've done mine, I've actually never written it down either. Like both like the sets that I've done, like I've just had like the day of it. Because the first time I ever signed up, I just told myself, I was like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure out where to go. So I just Googled Tallahassee comedy scene, and Birds came up, and I called them. And I said, how do I sign up for this? And they said, just come on Wednesdays at like 8:30 and talk to Scott. And so I went to him, and I just signed up 2 weeks, and he said, you got 2 weeks before it goes on. And I had no material. I had nothing, but I just signed up just to make myself do it.
Yeah.
And so then it got to be like day of, and it was just like homework. Like I procrastinated the whole time and still had nothing the day of. And I just had to come up with something, and it ended up being kind of good, at least in like, it was good enough that I wanted to do it again.
Yeah.
Like I had 3 of my closest friends come the first time, because obviously you don't tell anybody because you don't want to blow it.
Yeah.
And be a bunch
That's
of people
true.
there. So I had 3 of my closest friends in the world that even if I sucked, they'd be like, that was really good. And so I had them come, and I thought I did good, and they were like, that was really good. So I was afraid that I did bad, but the next time I signed up again immediately, and 2 weeks later I told a bunch of people, and they all came, and it's like the best set I've ever done. It was awesome. So
Yeah,
that was
awesome,
really
man.
cool to do that.
How that must have felt to have no laughs.
You bombed the first time.
You bombed the
Yeah.
first time.
That's rough.
Because I've thought about going up or something, but I don't know. The idea of bombing is pretty terrible. I got pretty bad stage fright
It's terrifying.
when it's
Yeah.
a live show. And
Yeah, it's like any little mistake you make, like, oh, you scratch your nose or something.
Right.
Like, pick your nose on stage. Oh, it's kind of weird.
is
And-
that a problem comedians have?
I feel like you can get itches.
I don't know.
Inopportune times.
It depends. I feel like if you can work it into a joke, or if you
Yeah.
just, because Mike was saying like a bunch of funny things that he wanted to do for the show, and I feel like it's funny if you don't speak on it. Like if you just have like a really weird hat, but you go around the entire show just like not even
Acknowledging it.
Yeah.
exactly. So like if you pick your nose and I rub it on your leg and just keep telling the joke, I feel like people will be like,
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Back to like the stage fright thing, it's funny because after my first set ever, I went up to like this comedian who did it, like who was like the feature of the night, who I thought was funny. And I was like, hey man, did you like enjoy my stuff, whatever. And he was like, oh, is this your first time? He was like, don't even worry about it. The second time's when you have a panic attack. And I was like, what the f-? I was like, that's awful advice. So the second time is when I told a bunch of people I was about to have a panic attack. I was about to lose my mind. So
Yeah.
it was like, have you ever read the book Holes?
Yep.
In the book, it says the second hole is the hardest
Mm-hmm.
because you're sore from the first day, and your muscles aren't used to it.
I like
And
that
that's kind of like
connection.
that's the analogy I make. The second time is harder because the first time you're like, your adrenaline's pumping. You're like, I'm just gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it. And when it's
Yeah.
over, you're like, holy shit. And the second time, you're like, oh goddamn, what have I done?
Yeah.
Why would I put myself in this?
That was a
situation
1 in a
again?
million
Yeah.
chance. What am I doing back here? Yeah.
So both of you guys also are actors.
yeah.
You audition for a lot of roles. You get roles.
Mhm.
What's that like? And
I think I've been going first a lot
Yeah,
of times.
what's
Alright,
your
I'll go
experience
first.
with that? With directors and everything?
So last year,
Yeah,
I
we
moved to
went-
Tallahassee, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna start doing this acting thing. I'm gonna check it out, and I went to FSU's film school for their general auditions, and I didn't really know how it was supposed to go. So I picked out. They give you 2 scripts. So I picked out a comedic one and a dramatic one, and then they call you back. They email you if they want you to audition.
Mhm.
And the first audition I went and I didn't get it, and the dude offered me a minor role with 1 line. And I was like, oh damn, that kind of
Yeah.
stinks. I was like, maybe I suck. So I was 0 for 1. But then I got 2 more emails, and I went to audition for those, and I got both of those.
What about you, Shelbry?
I've done a couple acting things. I think the biggest thing that I've done was Undergrad Chronicles. It was a young lady from FAMU, graduate actually. She put that together, and it got really big. We weren't expecting it to. So it was like tens of thousands of views
Yeah.
throughout the season. You mentioned directors. I think that's a really that's some tough shit to deal with, pretty much. Like there was one guy that I didn't like at all, but you have to kind of suck it up and have a really bad temper.
Yeah.
So it's like at times it can really make you want to quit. Like sometimes I was like, fuck it, I don't even want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I've acted a few times, but I've done mostly work behind the camera.
Yeah.
And then I've helped write some stuff too. So.
I was gonna say, so have you guys seen any, new movies out in theaters lately, or?
Yeah, I just saw, is it called Once Upon or something like that?
Oh, okay.
Girl finds the box and she makes 7 wishes and every
Yeah.
time somebody dies. That was a pretty intense movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Really. Like, I wasn't expecting that to be.
I saw the commercial in theaters, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was like, this is gonna be hysterical. Like
Hysterical.
not like a
People-
good
Yeah,
way,
I
but
love
like,
it when you see a horror movie like that. where
Yeah,
you're like,
I was
this is
excited.
Like
I
the
was
new
like-
Blair Witch movie.
I was like, I'm gonna get. I'm gonna watch this. I'm just like, oh shit.
yeah.
No,
I can
like,
take that
people
kind
in
It
the
was
theater
intense.
made it hilarious.
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah. Because when you should be like tensing up a little bit, if someone in the background say, bitch, why you doing that? Like, it's just. And that was what made it funny. But I feel like it was a really good film. I guess the ending was the most. It wasn't like the climax that I was looking for. Like, you kind of expected what happened. So
Formulaic.
predictable.
Yeah.
yeah, but I feel like up until that point, it was really good, and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. You seen anything?
I've seen Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
Oh,
I recommend it to everyone.
yeah, I
still
saw
haven't
when
seen
they showed it early at the SLC here.
What?
And, like in July, or not July, in, the end of the spring semester they showed it.
What?
Yeah, and so I was working that night, so I, like, went in and popped in and, like, watched some of it, and it was great.
It is awesome. So like the whole movie. So like this is not a spoiler, but like the main character has to listen to music like the whole time he does, and like the actions in the movie are with the music.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like counting money and it'll be like boom, 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 boom. Like and they do it on
It's
beat.
cut to the music.
And when they close like trunks and stuff, it's always on beat. They like when they load guns, it's like with the beat. It's
Yeah, I
just, it's
understand
awesome.
music is like a central.
It's a central theme, and
Theme
it's
of
really
the
cool
film.
the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a groovy film. I've said that twice today, but I'm with it.
Nice.
Groovy.
I'm
It's a
loving
groovy day.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's groovy night.
I am
Pretty
loving
groovy
it.
night.
Funkadelic.
We've been feeling it. We're back in the 60s.
Which, if you've
now.
never heard that band, check them out.
Funkadelic?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Go check out Funkadelic.
Oh. No,
Get into it.
So we got a friend that actually saw Dunkirk recently, and
Yes. Okay.
he was going to talk with us. So
Let's see what he's got to
let's
say.
talk to Sean real quick.
Alright.
Yeah.
Sean.
So we're just gonna be talking about Dunkirk real quick with my friend Sean. He's a history major down at the University of Florida, and he actually is solid. So we're just gonna try to get some different opinions on the movie because Jake here also saw the movie. So
Wait, Jake didn't see it.
I have not seen the movie.
oh, I
Jake,
thought
you
you
have
said
seen
you
it.
saw it.
No, I have not. But I do have questions for you, Sean. You go first.
Jake's got
Okay,
questions
okay.
without seeing the
Yeah.
movie.
So how about you tell us about the movie, Sean?
Take it away.
Okay, so as far as the movie goes, I heard about it probably a little over a year ago, and knowing from the start that Nolan was going to be directing it, and that was going to have an all-star cast, and that was going to be World War II. I was pretty pumped. I'm a fan of a lot of Nolan's filmography. Like Inception, everybody loves that movie. The Batman trilogy or Dark Knight trilogy. Anyway, so I was really looking forward to it, and I can say it's not your typical war movie, but I think that actually it plays into to its advantage. I really, really enjoyed the movie. I think that it's totally worthy of the hype that it's getting. I really think that actually this could potentially be up there with a lot of like the classics like Saving Private Ryan, Full Metal Jacket. As far as war movies go more broadly, anyway. Yeah.
Okay, Sean, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of those movies you referenced, though, Saving Private Ryan and Full Metal Jacket, they are awesome, but they're also both rated R. So I have this thing. I don't know if I can get with if it's a war movie. I think it has to be R. How does it play with the PG-13? How does that?
Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting. I thought about that too before I saw Dunkirk.
Right, because it's war.
Thinking, Yeah, I was thinking like, okay, how is it going to play out here? I had faith in him because it was Nolan, and he's turned out some pretty gritty PG-13 movies. I mean, I thought Dark Knight. I remember seeing that in theater, and still really like that was that guy, the Joker still scared the crap out of me. And I think that there's still like, especially when you have someone like Nolan who has a big budget and can kind of like meander his way, play the Hollywood politics game, and kind of like maybe get in a little bit more violence here and there than some smaller directors might be able to in the PG-13 movie. I thought that I'm like, okay, I'm not going to let it bother me too much. And fortunately, it really delivers. I think the thing that's different about this movie compared to most is that it's the spectacle. It's the event. It's not so much character-driven like we think of Saving Private Ryan, where you get to know all the characters. But that works to its advantage, I think. I really think that I went in knowing that was kind of the case, that there wouldn't be a lot of dialogue and that kind of thing. So I think if you go in knowing that and then having also a little bit of background about the history itself, it does certainly help. Because I can understand where it gets a little bit confusing for a lot of the American audience who generally speaking compared to the British aren't as aware of the Dunkirk story. It just really it doesn't factor in as much as Pearl Harbor or the invasion of Normandy or that type of thing.
Okay.
So,
well, I have another question then about the spectacle of it.
Yeah.
Because with Christopher Nolan, the movies are loud as shit. Like Inception and all the Dark Knight films. It's all boom. How loud is Dunkirk?
It actually, funny you asked that too. It is very loud.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be so loud. Yeah. I thought about that.
So,
that's the first thing I thought about.
Yeah, the interesting thing. So, kind of how I think in especially it was Interstellar. The score, Hans Zimmer's score, really played into the sound effects. Like it wasn't just a typical sweeping score. Wasn't always very melodic. It was almost like kind of inspiring, like fear, and it wasn't meant to be like 2001: A Space Odyssey type of very soothing sounding in a way. That really plays, I think, really well into it. I think it's a key part of it, and going and knowing that it's going to be a loud film helps too.
How long is it?
It's actually one of Nolan's shortest films. It's an hour and 46 minutes. Wow. It's actually, I think the let me think here. I think the last film that he did that was under 2 hours, under the 2 hour mark, was Insomnia, which is a totally underrated film. That is a great film if you haven't seen it. So obviously, you guys probably know I've been or they might have told you, I've been interviewing World War II veterans for the past few years.
Yeah.
And I've only met a handful of veterans from from foreign militaries because it's mainly U.S. military veterans that are here. Yeah. Well, I kept looking up with not much hope, like Dunkirk veteran Florida, just Googling it, maybe there's one out there because there's still some of these guys left. Yeah. This is 77 years later, so those guys who were say 20 years old are 97 now. Well, anyway, I looked up today. This was literally today, actually. Dunkirk veteran Florida, and in the Tampa Bay Times, there's a gentleman in, of all places, St. Pete, who was evacuated from Dunkirk. Wow. Was in the British Army, was evacuated from Dunkirk, and he's 97 years old. Yeah. And as of right now, we still got to plan on the time and everything, but I'm going to be interviewing him next week. So
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's something to look forward to. You also asked about why we think this is so successful because it had a $100 million opening weekend, and I think honestly, Part of it, obviously, is because Nolan's attached to it and that, Tom Hardy's attached to it. And I'm sure Harry Styles also has a little bit of a draw, too.
That's why I went to see it. I like that Harry Styles.
But I think part of it, too, was, very quickly we're losing this link to the largest war in world history. And one of the largest, I think maybe the single largest evacuation of that war.
Yeah.
I would say I'm going to see this movie like 3 more times in theaters. One of them with someone who was a kid at the time of Dunkirk, but lived in London at that time. Because I think it'd be something he'd appreciate. Wow. But yeah. Anyway, anyone who's interested or skeptical about going to see it, go see it. It's totally worth your while.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, appreciate it. And if any of you guys have a veteran or are a veteran that wants to get interviewed, Sean right here has interviewed. how many have you interviewed so far, Sean?
I'm just coming up on 200 about.
Yeah, and it's awesome that you get to get the stories that these people, they might not necessarily have gotten a chance to tell, and so it preserves it and lets future generations be able to watch these and learn.
Yeah, that's why I do it. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for being on, man.
All right, it's great talking to you guys. Great meeting you guys too.
See you, Sean.
Have a good night.
See you later, Sean.
Apparently, Jake has some disagreements about who won our tournament on episode 1.
Huge beef.
John Wick won it all, and that's the truth.
The undisputed Hollywood heavyweight champion.
Oh my goodness.
What?
I took a peek at the bracket.
Yeah.
Can you read out the bracket?
Oh wait. Yes.
I don't think. I don't like that Jaws was on it though.
Oh, but Jaws is the best.
There was some controversy of if Jaws should be on the
No,
list.
I think the controversy
What's
I heard
the list?
from people.
Badasses.
Well, I think there was some controversy. If we were deciding,
We were deciding
Jaws
whether or
should
not
be
to
on
put
the
Jaws.
list.
That's why we put the alien in there, the xenomorph, to balance out the Jaws.
But so it's badasses.
No, I like the
cinema?
conversation how you were saying, like, is it on water, is it on land? And I feel like if it is some type of
Space bubble.
Yeah.
It's
So
a space
But
ocean.
even still, I think the alien is faster than Jaws.
But we don't know how
Even
the alien
in
is
water.
in water.
It is. It's a movie. I think it was like Alien 2 or 3.
He did.
It wasn't 2.
It was
the
19,
xenomorph
they
did get
can
in water.
probably swim.
The xenomorph did get in water at one point.
And
This
that was
is
swimming.
breaking news.
And that motherfucker was breaking like angles and shit inside the water. So I feel like even if
Cue
Jaws,
footage of this exact thing that he's talking about because I had no idea.
So, if you guys have anything you want to plug, take some time to do that.
I'm going to be doing videos every day for about a week or so, the second week of August. And you can follow me on Instagram at shelbrybutler.com. People look at Shelbry, see the R, and still call me Shelby.
Really?
Do they think it's silent?
I think it's under
I don't know what the fuck they think it is.
under the skin.
Yeah, it does. You can tell. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining us this week. And, remember, if you liked what we had here today, to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned next Friday at 7 p.m. for the next episode of Silver Screen Rejects.
Thanks, guys. Till next week.
Yeah.